Hello everyone, welcome to Cornflower Crafts. I'm up in the craft room and I started making my card. I don't make tons of square cards, but I know that if you do have a square card, it is extra postage, but I knew I'd have to have extra postage anyway because this is for the die cuts, the teacup die cuts that I did in the previous video. This is for that giveaway, and so it has to go within there, within the card. And as you see, it's pretty thick right now. And I made this little bag, not bag, kind of paper container. I don't know, I've drawn a blank. Envelope, maybe? Does it look like a coin envelope? I don't know. Anywho, I made this a couple of years ago and I had filed it away like this in my stash. And remember, I'm going through everything in the craft room, and I mean every single solitary thing. And it is taking a while because I'm also doing other stuff. And when I found it, I was so excited because I was like, oh, I made this out of cardstock. It's nice and thick. This will be great. And I had put it together. The adhesive I used was very thin. Let me see. Like this one. Very thin double-sided tape. And I was like, what the heck-a-do? It failed. And it left these two marks there and here. And it had failed. Have you all ever had that happen to you? I was not happy. So what I did I said, let's try this again. So I went ahead and used it again, but then I took my art glitter glue and in between them and on either side of them used that. Because I've never had an issue with art glitter glue or barely art glue with the paper, but I did have an issue with the double-sided tape. That was kind of not fun. So the envelope I made for this, I want everything to be very, very strong. They're not gonna, since it's a square card, they usually do not put them through the machines. And that's another reason, extra postage. And I did look it up to make sure, but I still can put non-machinable at the bottom. But I made this envelope, so I had to do these two die cuts to do my labels. I have labels, that I had purchased some years ago, but I'll probably go around these in probably spun sugar, distress ink, or maybe even kitsch flamingo, something to kind of bring that out. But I was like, well, I just want everything. See, this is nice thick cardstock. This is not thin paper at all, or scrapbook paper. It's cardstock on this too. I'm trying to keep the die cuts as nice as I can. You don't always have to do that, but I said that this giveaway was open to everybody. And as you all know, most of the time I'm not able to do that because shipping is cuckoo crazy, all over, unless it's hit. Well, it's kind of high here too, if you ask me. But anywho, so I started on this, and I did something I'm not happy with, but there's really nothing I can do now because I did it after everything was down in this one section. I'm also going to include this little tag that I die cut. Isn't that a darling die? I love it when the tag is scalloped at the bottom. Because to me, if you're going to have tea, you should have cupcakes or cookies or a little something, or macaroons or something. So that's why this goes with it. So there's cupcakes involved. And yes, while I was up here, I thought, oh my mercy. On Tea Tuesday, when I had my teacup and saucer here, but I Remember, I drink almond milk now, but when I had that, I didn't have some of my mini cupcakes or my other cupcakes on display here, and I should have. But of course the teacups were taking up all this space anywho. But you know, they go together. But these are my fake bakes, and what I'm saying is this little bunny, even though he's wooden, I'm saying that he is made out of marzipan. That's what he's made out of. Okay. And so anyway, I thought I'd put them out there. And the fun part is my little, that's up on this for now. My little cupcake holder here is out of the paper that this is fussy cut out of. So I thought, well, that's fun. It matches. And these, I got these at Tuesday morning like 5 or 6 years ago. These mini cupcake holders. Okay. So I've got a lot of it done already because you know I am a slow crafter and I don't fast forward. I might do it in the future, but not for now. I have darling subbies that say, I'm glad you don't fast forward. So I'm still holding on to that. So I did do the fussy cut out this butterfly, and I did give it dimension by curling its wings with this bone folder. But I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it in there or not. I'm not sure. We do have our steam. You all saw this if you saw the giveaway Tea Tuesday with me. What have I got here? Something evidently that I fussy cut that took a life of its own, just went. So what I did so far is I made my card base, and I think that paper, I'm not sure, but I think it's Michael's. I usually get pink paper from Michael's, have in the past. And then I had some long, do you all keep your long scraps? Well, I had that available to me, so, you know, pink-wise, I was like, okay, we're looking good. And then this lace is from Hobby Lobby. And it's so thin, as you can see, that I thought I'd be safe. And because this to me is a tabletop, that's what that is, where the tabletop is painted pink and it has four white legs. But you can only see 2 of them because they're placed perfectly under that tabletop. Well, y'all gonna laugh. I was down here thinking, okay, I can eat, and you can either do 2 little strips just straight down like you did your tabletop. But I was like, you know, let me get scrap paper. I was like, well, that's interesting because this is so shabby chic that I want to turn the table legs, okay? So for me, in order for me to turn them, I'm trying to find a piece of scrap paper, but I'm not being very successful because I've cleaned through everything. And what I'm not using, I'm donating. Okay, let's see the back of this one. Okay, so what I did is another scrap of white. What I did was take out my Tombow marker in N95, and to me, that should be an extremely light gray, because that's a lot of times that's what I shade white with. So to me it should be. And so I got on my white cardstock because I wanted to make a template, you know. And see, it's looking light, isn't it? And so, you know, you've got your 2 strips like this, and I'm working on them, you know, in white, and saying we should go down like this and down like this. Then maybe curve it here, curve it here, you know how it goes. And then maybe again like so, and then make the, you know, make the legs go like that. Of course, this is not matching up perfectly, so I would have to sketch it some more, but basically, this is what I had in mind. And I did it. I drew it, and I used the first one as a template, and that's, well, of course, it's larger, and that's what I came up with. But then I was like, oh, wait a minute. It's too, I had to keep going down. I had my table like up here at first. I guess I thought I was working on a slimline card or something, because I was like, well, girl, this is a large, see, this is a large teacup. That's not a tiny teacup, so I had to go larger and further down. So I was like, okie dokie. Well, there goes the majority of the legs, but you do get a little curve in here. I did not. I wish I had done this, but okay. So I thought, okay, just let that nice bright white be there, and it'll be fine under that lace. But you couldn't see them. And before I glued the lace down, because it's going to be coming in and out, I like it, especially when it's a lace tablecloth, I like it not glued down here. But coming in and out of that envelope will mess with the bottom of them. That's why I did it. But you couldn't see them at all. Actually, I was like, uh-oh, because the white background and the white lace, I was like, well, isn't that something? So before I did, I had my lace pulled back here because I had it glued up here. I just went, which I thought is super, super light gray. And you see, it's darker than I had anticipated. So not super happy with that. But I like the rest of it, so I'm gonna stick with it. But I thought, well, I thought I'd tell you all about it in case you try to find, if you want to just do a little bit of shading on your white cards, so try to find something even lighter than that one. Let's see. Now remember, these die cuts are like this because the teacups are stackable. You know what I mean? Going like this and going like that, and, I'm personally not going to stack them. Now with this one, I wanted some shading in the center of the saucer. So what I do, I have another brush over there that is, well, I'll show you, since y'all sweet enough to come over and visit. Look how teeny tiny that is. This is old as the hills. And what you can do, I got out my distress ink and old paper. And what you can do is just rub your paintbrush on there and then use it, okay? But I had such, and I use this if I've got just teeny tiny shading I want to do. And I use this one. You could see it stained it even though it's washed. Just a matter of, seriously, just brushing it back and forth, back. Or even a circle. Sometimes I go in a circle. And then shading what you want, And of course, depending on how much ink is on your brush, you're going to maybe get a darker spot here or whatever. Or if you want, if it all comes out even, and you want it darker here or darker on the sides, as you see, I got a little darker here, which I wanted. Just do it again. Just rub on it and go over it again, because it will get a little darker as you keep going if you want it that way. So, and that you can do without any markers, alcohol or water base or anything. So I did that already, and I did the same thing to the inside of the cup, and you see how it's lighter here because the light would reflect it. It would come out lighter on the edge up here, but darker here. And as I said, that's just a matter of keep putting your paintbrush in your ink, or rub it on that ink and just go like so. And I did a little bit here and a little bit of shading here and around here. So let's put those down. And let me make sure that I don't need to do a certain thing first. I don't think so. Okay. This paper here, the light might be reflecting it, but it is very, very slick. It's beautiful. I love it. But I don't use it often because it's so slick. But what I do for slick is fabric tack in the middle, and then I go around it in either art glitter glue or barely art glue. So let's start off with that. See how long they behave themselves, my adhesives. Are you all working along with me, or are you all just watching? Because I know sometimes you all give me a hey and say in the comments, I worked right along with you. And then you tell me what you're working on. I'm going to go for the art glitter glue simply because in my head, and I don't know if it's true or not, it's stronger than barely art glue. But I like barely art glue for paper. You know what I mean? To me, paper does not get wrinkly with that adhesive. It does much better. Versus the cardstock. Okay, let's go about here. We're going to put the saucer on the table. Okay. Alrighty. And then I'm going to put the cup right like so. Can you tell that's alcohol ink coming through? But you saw the other where I did the shading, that's not coming through. Not distress ink. No. Okay. Oh, I should have shut that door. I'm sorry guys for the fan. It didn't even hit me. I'll tell you why. I was thrown off because I was looking for what I wanted to stamp on the inside of the card, or stamp on something and then include it on the inside. And I had placed that stamp exactly where I knew it would be, because I had thought about doing this giveaway for some time. I just didn't have time to do it. And lo and behold, as you know, when you start getting in the craft room and you're going through every single thing, at least with me, I don't say, okay, now I'm going to do just this section, just this section, just this, because I get tired of certain sections. I'm like, give myself a break and go back to it. I can't find the stamps that I had put out for the sentiment, so I'm going to have to go a-hunting, because I'm still working on the craft room. That is not finished by any means. Okay. Then we've got this piece that I want here. And yes, y'all see, I'm still using my old tweezers. I have a new pair of these tweezers, exact ones in new. But isn't that funny? How some things you just have a hard time giving up, you know? As you can see, I have a hard time giving them up. I will eventually. They're nasty looking. Seriously, they're just nasty. All gluey and ooey, but I really like them. Okay, so we also have the steam, which the steam is going to come out here. And I did want it to go over the pink in the card like that, just a little bit. And that's going to work out good. I placed it like that on purpose. You know, some people might want to keep inside of the second layer, but not me. Uh-oh. My glue's getting icky. I wondered when it would misbehave. I hope you can see. Sorry if I'm out of frame. Okay. Alrighty, Rooney. Now that should go right about here. Okay. I'm going to take a baby wipe that is dried out and just make sure that in case I got a little bit aggressive on the glue, we'll fix that up right there. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, I like it. Okay, and also, I don't know if you all remember or not, but there's also these little, even though we have a lace tablecloth, the teacup itself is on a doily. Laughing and coughing. So, I think there's 4 die cuts of these in the giveaway of this one, of the doily. I'm trying to keep as flat as possible, but because I think it would be cute. Remember, I have real doilies that I cut up and stuff like that, but I thought stay on this. I'm gonna have to pull this up, guys, to make sure that I get it on the table correctly. Okay. We are on the table. Now, when it came to decorating it, I was like, I don't know which one to do. I fussy cut this one. And I was like, no. I fussy cut this. Whoop, no, that goes on something else. Fussy cut this one. And that's the one I'm thinking of going to. And I also fussy cut this one. But I'm like, because this design is not exactly like this design, but it's close. And that's why, at first I really loved this on it, but I thought, no. I do have this goes over here, though, to match here. And the other side, even though where are they? Uh-oh. I did another set. There they are. I did this set for this side. Or maybe we could go like that. But remember, we have there is a die cut of your little tea, and here's the thing. It had a little heart on the right side, but it was quite a bit bigger, and to me, I would take one of them out of the packaging, but I've got them where I think they'll mail safely, so I'm not gonna. But to me, it was too big to set it on the saucer. So, let's move this here. So I kept cutting it down, because I thought, okay, that's where it looks cute, you know. And they give an example. You can stamp or write. I mean, I've cut it down so much it's too tiny. Or you could write if you can write teeny tiny, which I can at times. Hello or thank you or time for tea or something of that nature. But I just kept cutting it down, guys, until I got it where I thought, okay. Otherwise, it's hanging over the salsa and everything like that. So the tea bag is, I think I said this before, but if you didn't see the other video, I went over it in the tea dye distress ink, and then did a little heavier at the bottoms because that's what they look like, where the actual tea settles. So that's why I did that. Then this right here, that is thread, that is upholstery thread that I got at Hobby Lobby. And then I just kept cutting down and down and down and down and down of some scraps till I could get the little holder, you know, there that tea bags have. I'm used to them being yellow. So I thought, well, this is cute like so. Or since the handle is there, let's see what looks better. Does it look better like that? Or does it look better like that? I can hear y'all. Now some of y'all are saying, I like that better. And some of y'all are saying, I like this better, so you can put that butterfly back there. Or maybe you can make him come down towards the tea, like you're getting something good. Okay? I kind of like it like that. It kind of balances out the handle, doesn't it? And we can go right about there. Now, if I go right about there, does that mean that I need to put the other set back? This set back. Let me see. Because that would be, these would be here, and these would be a little further more, like so. Okay. So, does that mean, yes it does. Well, no it doesn't, because you're going to cover it, you're going to cover 90% of it up. I see. But then again, it gives it a little bit dimension too, and you do see the light. See, this is why I take forever, y'all. This is how I do it. No, I can't sing that song, because I'll get in trouble. Copyright. Okay. I saw somebody singing a song in its entirety on YouTube, and I asked my daughter, I said, how were they able to, a famous song, and I said, how were they able to do that? Uh-oh. My glue said, you've left the top off for too long, woman. I said, how were they able to do that? And she said, because that's their own rendition of it. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. I left it off way too long. Look at that. I don't usually do that. I was trying to go faster. And that art glitter glue was like, no. I'm going to dry up right there. Uh-oh. Come on now, you. Isn't that a kick in the caboose? Let me see if I can go down with this one now. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. So we're going to put this one right, like so. Let me see if it's where I want it to be. And then we're going to put this one. And yes, if you wonder if that drives me a little bit crazy, to fussy cut something this tiny. Yes, it does. But it's what I do. Okay, now this one will go right, like, to make sure that's going just like that one. Came down a little and then up a little there. Okay. Alrighty. So now we got that one. Do you ever do that? If your glue has a bubble on the top of it, put it on put it on yourself. Okay. So now that we've got that, we've got to put our little tea bag over here. And right about there, so it stays on this, in the saucer. I'm not going to glue down the top of that though. I think in and out of the envelope it should be okay. And if I find out it isn't, then I'll glue it later. Okay, here. So right like that. We're in the saucer and everything's good. All right. Now, I think I am going to stick with this one. It is different from the other ones. So, I like this one though because it goes out this way. Do you know what I mean? But it matches these. And I don't want to match the cup, you know, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Oops. I find with my little tiny leaves and stuff like that that sometimes it, if you don't glue them down, it bends. Okay. How are we looking, guys? Okay, I have to do like that because I don't want to go over my doily. Okay, there we go. And we may have a butterfly, we may not. We're not sure yet. The butterfly may stay, or we just might have a teacup and a tea bag on the table, a lace tablecloth, excuse me, and a doily, ready for somebody to enjoy. And I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everybody. Take good care.